CatFish My Life. It's a story of a hero's journey, and it's so much more than a weight loss story. When I was 300 plus pounds, I used to always go in the mirror like everybody else, but the problem was when I looked at myself in the mirror, I didn't see a friend. I didn't see somebody that I actually enjoyed looking at. So depression, sets in, and I had to do something about it. So it was like I had to change the words that I was telling myself. One of the words that I started to add in my vocabulary was I am. So I had to fill in the blank, I am what? And, growing up as a Christian, in the Bible, nobody says I am more than the narration of Jesus Christ. I am the way, I am the door, I am the light. So when I thought about that, if my life was a movie, what would the hero of my movie do to come to my own rescue? I had to be the hero in my own movie to come to my own rescue. So what is Enthrone Elixir? Enthrone is an elixir that provides an effective and efficient way to decrease visual and subcutaneous fat. The subcutaneous fat, that's the fat that's extremely hard to lose. That's the fat that's hanging along your arms, your waist, your butt, your belly. Then you got the visual fat. The visual fat, that's the hard fat. That's the fat that surrounds our organs. That's the fat that's also hard to get rid of, but it constantly sometimes leaves first before the subcutaneous fat. And then we have the inflammation. You got two types of inflammation. We have acute inflammation and chronic inflammation. Acute inflammation is a short-term response to something harmful to the body. And then we got chronic inflammation. This is the inflammation that's causing heart disease. This is the inflammation that's causing diabetes. This is the inflammation that's causing valves to shut down. So we have to be mindful of that chronic inflammation. So who is Enthrone Elixir for? Enthrone Elixir is for the client that has that deep belief that they can lose this weight. That's who Enthrone Elixir for. The client that has the power, that's willing to go to the end and develop a bottom line. When I say the end, I'm talking about the end, the back of your mind, your subconscious, that secret storm that you constantly run away from. So, how do you know? How do you know if you have subcutaneous fat? Like I said before, subcutaneous fat is necessary for our genetic survival. But having too much of it, fat that hangs off your arm. My fat used to hang a lot. Fat around the waist. The butt area. And that's how you have this subcutaneous fat. So what is subcutaneous fat? You have three types. Okay, you got three. What is subcutaneous fat? Your skin is composed of three layers: the epidermis, the dermis, and the subcutaneous fat, which is the deepest layer called the hypodermis. This type of fat carries out important functions in our body. So we have to be mindful that this fat is under everything, right? It's under everything, it's touching everything, and it pushes our skin forward. So we have to be mindful if we have too much of it. And like we said, the difference between subcutaneous fat, that's the fat you can actually pinch. The visual fat, you can't necessarily pinch that because that's the fat that's surrounding our organs. So Enthrone cycles plan, we have 4 different cycles, and we have many benefits of drinking Enthrone Elixir because all of the ingredients are anti-inflammatory. They decrease visual and subcutaneous fat. It's great for weight loss. It's a great weight loss cycle. All right, and ultimately it enhances our immunity functions, and it's great for energy. If you're someone that likes coffee, it is a great coffee replacement. So we have the 3-day cycle, that's for $20. We have the 6-day cycle for $50, and we also have the 12-day cycle for $75. And for people that's extremely serious for the lifestyle change, I got 2 guys that's on this right now. The 20-day cycle for $100. It's really what you want. If you got that high intensity drive, motivation in the gym, and you ready to really follow this workout regimen, you can follow it, and just stick with it. I promise you, you'll see the person, your ultimate physique, if that's what you truly desire. And I also have the steps here. Step 1, 2, and 3. Step 1 is grand rising. Step 2 is new eating traditions. This is the one that's extremely important because in order to gain something, you got to be willing to release something. You got to be willing to sacrifice. You got to be willing to suffer. If you're not willing to suffer, you will not reach that monumental feat. You will not defeat yourself, because the only person you can't bullshit is yourself. The greatest warrior is fighting against you. That's why they say the greatest battle is with yourself. Like the greatest conqueror is conquering your own mind. Being able to conquer your own taste buds. Being able to tell your own taste buds what to do. That's extremely hard, but it's possible. All right. So what's my objective here, right? My objective is to live a life of example for others to follow, to regain power over their lives through tradition and Enthrone Elixir, so they can wield and manifest new lifestyle changes and new traditions in their life, so they can ultimately stay healthy and long on this planet. So I just want to say thank you all for your support, and if you truly desire to try Enthrone Elixir, go to wildflowerwellness.com/TKS, and we'll get those orders out to you. One.